Dire team ban.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly number 12, powered by Androids and brought to you today by me, your host, Kanaz. We're going to be here for this semi-final match now between nGu and iNfernity.RS. Infernity, they're going to be on the Radiant side. Looks like they are going to have second pick. And that leaves nGu to the Dire with the first. And we're probably going to have, well, we would definitely have a remake after the picks. It looks like a couple players from each team were just a little bit delayed in getting to this game. So we're going to go through the picks now. Give those players about the 7-10 minutes, whatever it ends up taking, for the draft to go through, to hopefully show up so we can just get to the game at that point. But we can see this first ban phase already well underway here. nGu choosing to take out both Shadow Demon and Wisp. Infernity, their first ban was a Magnus, thinking about where they want to go with the second one now. Obviously a ton of heroes in the pool, wouldn't be surprised to see Batrider coming out as a ban here, but they do have other options if they're not particularly worried about playing against the Batrider. But at the very least, going to spend a little bit more time thinking about this. Probably weren't expecting to see the Shadow Demon come out as a second ban from nGu. Definitely not a hero we see banned out a ton. And actually, Nick's going to be their ban, so Batrider will make it through. And Batrider definitely they see first picked anytime he makes it through the pool. And of course, nGu, they're going to take it up. So they will have the Batrider for this game. We'll see how Infernity want to respond. I know that sort of the new thing in the professional scene has been picking up Slark against the Batrider in that mid lane. But they're going to start off with a Gyrocopter and a Bane Elemental. So just picking up the Gyro, who I think we've seen thus far today. Definitely a very powerful carry. Especially as the game goes later and later, he gets more and more items. He just can do so much AoE damage. Flight Cannon. Really just kind of incredible when it comes to damage output from a Gyrocopter later in the game. And of course Bane, a pretty powerful support that apparently nGu don't fear at all, picking Lifestealer straight into him. We almost always see Bane sort of picked up as a counter to those Lifestealer picks, but they're just gonna, you know, pick it up right after the bat. Like, yeah, we like this support, and maybe we'll force you out of picking the Lifestealer. nGu though, no fear. Just going to go with it, and they will pick up a Keeper of Light to round out their first pick phase. Ferdy now looking for their final pick for this phase.
10 seconds remaining.
They already have the Gyrocopter and the Bane. Have a lot of options for what they want to go for. Maybe want to see them pick up some sort of solo here, so that all the good solos just don't really get banned out in that second phase. They do have to match up against the Batrider, so they don't want to put something too weak as sort of a dump hero in that mid lane, if the Batrider does end up mid.
Puck.
And they're actually going to go with Puck, so that's going to be their choice for this first solo, it looks like. Puck, the sort of hero we'll almost certainly see end up in the mid lane. While Batrider, he can have a little bit more options. Maybe ends up in the off lane and even abandoning there, ends up jungling. Who knows? They have some options. Definitely have some space to move around in this particular draft. But we're going to hit the second ban phase now. Both teams looking like they're banning off laners at the moment, with Clog and Nature's Prophet being the choices from nGu, which are a pretty easy target when you look at Infernity's lineup. Well, as Infernity, they're trying to ban out the Rubik now, actually, so they're taking out at least one support and the Lone Druid, who could have been an off-lane carry. Maybe they want to ban out some potential mids as well, in case they're expecting Batrider to have to off-lane just because of how nGu is banning right now. Drift kind of developing in a somewhat strange way as a result. Batrider, not a hero we see picked up, obviously, a ton, because he's almost always banned. And spending a little bit more time actually thinking about these bans than they were for the picks, actually, so
10 seconons remaining.
Trying to figure out what they're doing and what they think the enemy team's doing. Maybe it's a little bit easier to handle themselves. And Weaver going to come up as this ban now from nGu. Taking off another offlane carry. Not sure what iNfernity.'s options are really going to be for the offlane at this point. I don't know what they're going to want to run. Obviously, most of the heroes that we see commonly have already been banned out, like Clockwork, and to some extent Nature's Prophet. Sometimes even the Weaver. Storm going to be the last ban from iNfernity there now. It's possible that they pick up something. Well, they can't pick up Darkseer because he gets banned out. Or picked up rather, excuse me, by nGu. Just what I was about to mention, that I feel like Darkseer is the obvious one to make it through the pool, and that means nGu probably going to be picking up. Maybe Bounty Hunter is something they want to go for. We don't see a ton of him picked up anymore, sort of post the track nerf, which was months ago now. Just kind of just when he slipped out of the competitive scene, maybe we'll see him make a resurgence at some point, but probably one of their better options at this point. We've seen, I believe, Tree in the off lane recently, just because he's been sort of flavor of the month over at the International 3 West qualifiers, where teams have been kind of picking him up like crazy. Remembering that Living Armor and its global cast range is kind of insane. But iNfernity, thinking about this 4th pick, it's possible they just go for support here. And wait until their last pick for their offlaner. I think that was probably what the best bet is. nGu with both the Batrider and the Darkseer pickup. Unlikely to really pick the sports or offlane that they end up going for, and they're going to pick up the Enchantress here. So probably just going to be running their Gyrocopter Bane in the safe lane, with the Enchantress hanging out in the jungle as well. Enchantress is a pretty aggressive support in the jungle. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they necessarily wanted here. With heroes like Batrider, Darkseer on the other team, are both pretty good at counter pushing. Even Keeper Light very, very good at counter pushing. And now they have Windrunner as well. With that power shot, that's a pretty decent nuke for stalling off these pushes and towers, killing off these creep waves. Enchantress a pick that definitely worked out for them earlier. We'll see if they can pull something off this game as well. And looking for their last pickup now. Still probably just something that's going to want to end up in the off lane. Really not sure what's going to be good on their team. It's pretty aggressive of a lineup right now with Puck and Enchantress, both heroes that really want to probably get involved moving around the map very early on. Bane, of course, he's decent throughout the game, but going to become worse and worse as time goes on. And Gyro is sort of a late game carry that you can hedge on. If something ends up going wrong in your early game, you're not able to take that mid-game advantage. But he can also be very powerful in the earlier stages of the game. And Rocket Barrage obviously does a ton of damage.
10 seconds
Flank Cannon, always useful just because he does damage normally as attacks. And there's going to be the Tree, actually. So it's going to who they're going to go with for their offlaner. Kind of feeling that might be the case. Really going to try and punish nGu anytime they go for any of these tower dives, but their team is not necessarily that aggressive. It will help against Batrider. Whoever Batrider ends up pulling with the Tree armor on him might be able to keep him alive, but we're going to have a remake now. So hopefully everyone shows up in the near future and we can get going. But a pretty interesting draft, kind of competing ideologies on what they want to do in that game. You gotta say, if iNfernity really get going, if they can really crack some towers early on, if nGu can't stall up the push the way they really want to with that kind of lineup, it's going to be looking good for them, but it shouldn't be very difficult for nGu to really just kind of sit there and throw spells onto towers, stop any of these pushes, really negate the effect that a hero like Enchantress can have on the game. We'll get to wait for the players to connect in now, though. Looks like everyone is showing up now. Oop. I guess I can change it to the lobby overlay. Both teams missing one player. Great. Right. Well, I don't know how long we should be expecting them to be taken here before the players get going. I don't know if I want to put music on, if you guys want that. Could be a while, they're not really talking about it, so I guess I'll toss some music while we wait. Thanks for coming, guys. Hopefully we get back to the game momentarily. I like the nightlife, baby. Alright, we're back in game, waiting for the players to pick up their heroes. Hopefully no one accidentally picks a wrong hero, which I've had happen multiple times. And then we'll get to see this game, a semi-finals match in the TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly number 12, powered by Androids, and cast today by me, Kanaz. Hopefully this will be a pretty good game. We've had a lot of stumps going on thus far as sort of the teams make their way through the brackets towards the end, but we are in the semifinals now. The best of the teams slowly making their way to the top. Looks like the Radiant side is appropriate, and the last hero missing from nGu is going to be Nakes.
At your service.
1 sec coming out of sauna. Okay. Kind of hard for me to feel like that's supposed to be taken literally, but who knows. I guess the overlay looks okay on the dire head skin. I can just leave it on. So, Nakes, gonna be the last one. Waiting to get in this game. We can go over the players on the Radiant side at least, as they are already in the game. We have LCF. On the Treant Protector, Rio gonna be on the Bane Elemental. Fanny on the Puck. Vic taking up the Enchantress, and finally Grazine going to be on that Gyrocopter. Meantime, for nGu on the dire side, we got Push taking up the Batrider, Akuma on the Windrunner, Daddy DJ going to be on the Keeper Light, Ice on the Darkseer, and that leaves Alive to be playing that Nakes as soon as he gets back from whatever it is he's doing. Someone said sack, just getting out of the sauna. And hopefully we can just actually get underway with these pauses. You know, it's not a real Dota tournament unless every match starts with a pause, so it's okay. That's how we know we're official. Got these pauses coming out here. And we'll see exactly how they want to lane these particular heroes. Windrunner, not exactly who I would have expected to see nGu end up picking up. It's possible that they just run Batrider in the jungle, send Ice to the off lane, Akuma, Windrunner in the mid lane, and then just run the dual lane with the Nakes and the Keeper Light, try and get as much farm as possible on their team. Because, really, they gotta be feeling like their late game is probably pretty good here, at least the earlier late game, I guess. If it goes very, very, very late, heroes like Gyrocopter are pretty much unbeatable. But, for now, Darks or Lifestealer going to be able to do a lot of damage in the later mid game, and their sort of turtling ability with Keeper Light with Darkseer, it's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, on the Radiant side, we have probably pretty obvious that we're going to see Enchantress rocking the Radiant jungle, and just the dual lane with Gyrocopter, and Bane, Tree in the off lane, and then Puck in that mid lane. Could run it a couple other ways if they wanted to. Maybe send Tree the mid lane, even Tree as a support. They could run Bane the mid lane, Puck off. I'm not necessarily expecting to see anything like that, since Tree probably won't have the worst time in that off lane against just Nyx and Keeper Light, but certainly possible. And not really sure what we're waiting for. Time to draw +6 Agi. No problem, he's a strength hero. That's like 1 extra armor. Crazy. Hopefully this pause doesn't take too much longer. We already waited kind of a long time for this game to get going. Looks like that's going to be a yes. Alright. So we'll get to see exactly how Infernity and nGu both want to lane. I think Infernities are probably a little more obvious. If we see Tree ends up walking somewhere besides the off lane, maybe we'll have a couple questions about what they're exactly doing. But not really expecting any surprises here, especially with Puck heading towards the mid lane, but it looks like they might just be running dual lane top. Even a tri-lane with Enchantress not in the jungle. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Maybe they're just trying to contest the pull. Some pawns coming, or pinks coming out from Vic now. Like, yeah, maybe we should head towards bottom. I don't know. And it looks like there is just going to be a Windrunner support coming out from nGu, so they're probably one of the teams that just happens to favor running Windrunner in this role. Most teams don't, but there are the occasional teams that are like, yeah, Windrunner, we don't really need to get her farm, she can just hang out. As a support hero, I think Alliance tend to be one of the teams that run her in that capacity. But it is Gyrocopter just hanging out solo in this bottom lane, so this is an offensive tri-lane with Bane, Tree, and Enchantress. Looks like at the moment. We'll see if Enchantress actually hangs out in lane.
The battle begins.
Maybe just grabs some creeps from the Dire jungle and works with that. Don't know. Pink gonna come out on Windrunner, they know he's there. Visceral gonna get picked up by Rio, not gonna be able to do too much with it. Vic throws out one spear at the Keeper Light. Just puts a little harass on him, forces him back off of that. And they see the wards up there. Hey, DJ. Somebody needs to be careful here. This Shackle not gonna land on anything. With that slow, Rio just gets first blood on Keeper Light. It's kind of hard to imagine that was the right call. LCF, he had that living armor too, which just keeps Rio alive. So, first blood does go the way of the Radiant. They end up being able to kill that ward as well. Probably not going to be able to protect it too long. We'll see if sentries are up on anyone. Windrunner has a sentry, which was actually dropped all the way over here. Way too far away to see anything. Maybe they head over there trying to counter with that other sentry. Akuma just going with some denies in this top lane. Looks like Tree is the one that's going to be farming in this offensive try, because there's already a gank coming out in the mid lane. Push. Not going to be in any real danger though. What bat is that? The Werebat. Not in any real danger of getting it killed there, but we do have Vic, who is just jungling offensively, has no fear whatsoever, apparently, this game. Bottom lane, it's going to be Gyro against Darkseer. Both should be able to get decent farm here, but Gyro has the potential to get some denies. The attack animation is very good. Darkseer's is kind of slow. And Enchantress ends up getting a kill in the mid lane, but Darkseer, or rather, Treant Protector ends up losing his life as well. 2-1 is now the kill score, and they lose their offlane tree, which is probably not the worst thing that's ever happened to them when you compare it to getting a kill on that Bat Rider in the mid lane, who is now spending a lot of time. Now he's going to buy some wards, it looks like. I waited for someone else to buy the wards. Again, Enchantress chasing after Windrunner a little bit, not going to be able to set up any kill there. And everyone just looking content to farm, but they do still have to worry about these supports from Infernity. Moving around in their jungle constantly. Can set up ganks in mid lane, can set up ganks in the top lane. And they do a pretty decent amount of damage already. These Enchantress creeps, especially with having something like the Satyr, decent for nuking, and it's giving Bane some experience as well. So he's able to just hang out with Enchantress in the jungle and get farmed that way. Ping's going to come off as they walk over that sentry ward though, so they're going to know the supports are at least around there. And Akuma trying to go for a pull here. Looks like it's going to be successful, but there are already supports around to contest it. Enchantress is going to pop a little bit of a clarity there. And there is this ward right here now, which is pretty good for keeping Bat Rider safe, since he is going to see those supports coming this way now. Which is probably going to be a sign for them that something's up, that they have sight. Bane standing like directly on top of it. Just going to go back to jungling. And double centaurs, no big deal. Pinging on the bat once again, who should still be fine. Looks like the courier delivered something out there. There was a sentry. So yeah, there's probably a ward here. Gonna kill it off. Trying to set up those ganks in the mid lane once again. They want to have that route clear because they're probably not super pleased about trying to go towards this top lane. A little bit more difficult for them to actually set up something here. And Tree getting harassed a little bit, gonna just pop the living armor and back off. ADJ getting a lot of auto attacks off actually, but the supports are coming in from behind. He might be in a kind of weird position now. He's getting slowed up by the Leech Seed. Taking some damage. There's going to be a sleep on the Lifestealer. And Daddy DJ, can they get the kill? Body block's coming out, but Bane able to get that last hit. Meantime, Puck finds a double damager, or activates a double damager in the mid lane. Alive, pretty low on HP. It's Alpha Wolf. Hanging off the tower and also giving them quite a bit of damage. They're hitting pretty hard there. They chase him out of the lane, but not going to be able to secure that kill. It's 3-1 now, though, in favor of Infernity. And looking like they're going to continue the pressure up here, these supports. Heading back in the jungle. Don't need to do any more work right now. They can just continue getting levels up on that Bane and the Enchantress. And Bane sitting at level 4 now. No real mana on him. Akuma porting out. That's going to leave Alive alone up here, and Alive needs to be concerned about that. Going to pop the Rage. But with that sleep, going to be out momentarily. Stomp going to miss from the Centaur. I'm surprised they didn't use the sleep sooner. DJ ends up just taking the sleep, and they're not going to be able to get that kill. Pink's coming out in the bottom lane. Ice getting killed behind a tier 1 tower. No big deal, as Grazine just dives on him. Gets the solo kill. He's up to level 7 now. Has actually kind of a strange build here. 2 points in Rocket Barrage. 3 points in Flat Cannon. Flat Cannon definitely a powerful spell, especially for harassing your opponent out of lane. It's kind of strange that he decided to pick up 2 points in Rocket Barrage. Usually we see players go for either 1 or 4, depending on how they feel the lane is going. If they need the support, or rather, I guess, if the damage from Rocket Barrage can actually lead to them getting kills. And it looks like these camps actually in the Dire jungle being blocked by the Dire team. We have a ward being placed here. Just trying to stop this Bane and Enchantress from getting farmed in the jungle. They don't want them to be able to get these levels that they're currently having a great time with. We have Akuma in the mid lane on that Windrunner. And some pinks coming out like, hey, Barrier really is not having a great time here. Puck is getting complete rune control. He got ganked in the mid lane, gave Puck room. And looks like they might be rotating down towards this bottom lane now. Ice getting harassed out of lane a little bit there. Grazine needs to be careful. Oh, he's heading forward still. It's going to probably get caught out here. Push is only level 5, but the shackle shot is going to be there. And Grazine taking a lot of damage. He dodges the power shot though. Held it just a little too long. Now Grazine running away. The rocket barrage is going to be there once again, trying to get any damage off he can, but not going to be able to set up any sort of kill supports in the meantime. From iNfernity heading up towards this top lane, it looks like they might want to go for a kill on someone else up here. Possibly alive on lifesteal. He's going to rage and try and get away. The net is there though. Here comes the slow. And it looks like Rio not going to be able to do too much about it. Leech Seed not going to be enough of a slow. There's a clap from the Hellbear.
Radiant's bottom
A real
tower
follow-up
is under
with
attack.
Vic. Ends up just taking a lot of damage for nothing. And Alive looking like he's maybe thinking about going for something.
Radiant's bottom
Unfortunately, this
tower
Bane
is under
just
attack.
not having the success he needs. Can't really ever get in range.
Nature attend us.
Just telling him pop those heals so I can mana boots. Back up and get the mana up on our team before we keep going here. Push. Has boots up in this mid lane now, but Puck already sitting on treads, bottle, corner gold beyond it, just completely out CSing this Bat Rider at the moment. Ahead by 27 CS. Not what the Bat Rider wants to see. This shouldn't be the worst matchup in the world for Bat by any means. But that gank and the pressure just came out early on. Kind of really bad for him. They have the Dream Coil there and ends up breaking on push. Fanny though, probably in some trouble here. They could sleep on Kuma. From the Bane though, rotating in is enough to help him out, and Bane gets on a killing spree, last hitting the Bat Rider. With the Brain Sap, 5-2 now. That kill score still in favor of Infinity. We can check gold. See, it's about 3k in their favor. Experience sitting almost 4k. Wonder if our friends at DD were in the lower river. It's going to be able to deny that
Dire's
from Fanny
middle
on the puck.
tower is under attack.
Grazine has a ward down here now. I think Bane just put it up. Probably complain like, hey guys, you let me get ganked. Actually, he put it up, though Vic was the one who purchased them. And it looks like LCF getting initiated down here. Going to actually pop the overgrowth, trying to get away. Still pretty low on HP. We're gonna have another living armor. Does he have a leech seed as well? Staying alive, needs to get out of the fire. The sleep keeping him alive even longer, but he is eventually gonna go down. But now nGu in a position where they might need some trouble. The infest though from Nake's gonna full heal him. Ends up getting the kill on Enchant as well, and Fanny gonna lose his life, so it ends up being a terrible, terrible counter game coming out for Infinity. Ends up being 3 kills, just going their way, but in the meantime Darkseer's pinging. Hey guys, there's a gyrocopter that keeps diving me bottom, getting free kills. That is another kill for a gyrocopter, of course. Push diving back a little bit, has that flying vision as well. Forcing Rio out.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Making sure that this tower push is going to go off without any real defense mounted there by Infinity. They got a little too aggressive. 6-5 now that kill score. If they gave those 3 up in the top lane, that helps Lifestealer, it helps Bat Rider really start to get back in it. Bat is not having a good time. It looks like he is going to have some Tranquil Boots picked up. Keeper Light getting Tranquils as well. So push still not doing particularly well, but getting a little closer to back in it than he was previously. We have a lot of pings going off towards this bottom lane. Looks like they want to defend the bottom tower. Nice, looking like he's left alone for the moment, but Grazine is making his way back down there on that gyrocopter. Continuing to farm. Looks like he has Ring of Aquila, as well as Phase Boots and a Bracer. So we've seen drums come out from him next, a very, very aggressive mid-game build. It's kind of what you expect to see when you have a lineup like what Infinity's currently running. Looks like Enchantress is trying to get around on Darkseer, but not going to have any success. It's just Ice is just going to pour out. Unfortunately, no stuns available. At least not very quick stuns. Homing missile obviously takes a little while. Push. going to find the Enchantress. Shackle's going to land on Grazine, but doesn't really do too much in push, taking a lot of damage. Sleep going to be there, and Grazine keeps him safe for a moment. Push, trying to get away. The orb is going to come in from Fanny, and the Dream Coil is dropped eventually. This
Radiant's middle tower is
ultimate
under
from Bane going to come out as well, leads to the death of the Darkseer. So, good counter gank coming out there, but it does involve the use of all 5 heroes from
Radiant's
Infernity. They
bottom
probably need
tower
to
is
try and
under
transition
attack.
some sort of tower push for this, but they're not in a really great position to do anything with it. So it ends up just being a lot of heroes come in, they end up saving their carry, getting a couple kills out of it, but it does buy time for heroes like Nakes to just be farming. Doesn't really have too much picked up yet. 12 minutes in, it looks like he is working for that armlet, and actually has a Glove of Haste picked up now as well. Grazine doing a lot of damage, going to take Akuma down alive there, trying to help. Ice is here as well. Grazine probably needs some help. People are porting in, trying to do whatever they can. Grazine doing damage. The Infest is going to be there. And it looks like they end up trading. Lifestealer does go down, but Gyrocopter gets that solo kill first. That's a double kill for him. Now Push going to get spotted out, as well as Daddy DJ. Fanny, kind of a weird Dream Coil or orb there. The Overgrowth going to be used on Push. He's still in the flying though. I don't think they can really get that kill even with the Overgrowth, and it looks like they're not going to really be able to. Keeper Light actually buys back Darkseer, heading back to base pretty low on HP. They're going to be able to keep their tower alive, but it's kind of a weird buyback from Daddy DJ. He's probably not in a position where he needs to be spending gold on that, and it doesn't look like he's actually doing too much down here anyways. I'm convinced that this tower was going to get pushed in the next 10 or so seconds, that he would have been dead. Kuma going to get put to sleep. The Sleep going to get taken by the Keeper of the Light. A lot going on. LCF going to get initiated. Not probably the best thing to do. Dream Coil going to be there, as well as the Orb and the Silence. It looks like Akuma going to be the first one to go down, and ends up losing his life. Push going to take the ult on Rio, trying to do whatever he can. Not going to be able to do too much with it. Enchantress trying to heal up. LCF still standing in the middle of the fight, going to go down. No Overgrowth for another 12 seconds, so he's just going to end up losing his life. It looks like Vic is going to try and pour it out. Going to get caught by the vacuum though, and that will be his life lost as well.
Dire's structures are
So Infernity just really not able to maybe get what they thought they were going to be able to get done there. Homing Missile going to come off from Grazine chasing Akuma. This is a pretty aggressive chase if he keeps going for it. It looks like he's not going to be able to, just going to let that missile fly out. Eventually hit the Windrunner. Puck trying to do whatever he can to push out, and going to be able to port just barely. Very, very close, and Rio looking like he might lose his life here as a result. Going to use the Enfeeble as well as the Brain Sap, staying alive for a moment, but that Ion Shell continue to burn him down. Ends up going down, and now LCF just going to go invisible. Not enough damage comes out there during the fade time from the Nature Skies. And LCF maybe thinking about going in. If you can catch someone out with the Overgrowth. Gets alive just before porting out. But I don't know that they're going to be able to do anything. Vic losing a lot of damage from this Ion Shell. Puck comes in. No, oh, the ult is going to be there, going to pop it. It only lands on Alive though. The rest of the hero's not going to be latched, and Alive can just walk out of it with Rage if he wants to. We're going to pop the Rage now. The ult comes off from Bane on Alive, but Rio going to get shackled up. They're continuing to try and do damage. Enchantress gets the first kill. Darkseer going down. The wall didn't get dropped, so they're being forced to walk through it. They have these illusions. Akuma trying to run away. The orb is going to miss. Fanny trying to keep up. Akuma looks like he's going to be losing his life. So 2 kills going their way in that bottom lane, but in the meantime, Gyro getting a kill on Batrider up in their top lane as well. And Grazine just wandering around the map, finding kills, pushing towers, while there's just a constant brawl going on in the bottom lane. And anyone who's trying to roam up to wherever Gyro's at, try and stop him, has not had any success thus far. It looks like he picked up a Morbid Mask and he's 2,400 gold beyond it. Not sure what his pick is going to be here. If he wants to go for damage, if he wants to go for BKB. I would be kind of surprised to see BKB here. I think the disable he's most going to be worried about is that ultimate from the Batrider. It's nice not being able to get shackle shotted, as well as the slow from Lifestealer, and of course all the spell damage that can come out from various heroes on the team. We'll see what he ends up going for. Looks like he's not committing to anything just yet. Tree going to get a deny on the bottom tier 1 tower. Somewhat surprised to see them deny it. Maybe they were concerned that nGu were going to be down there once again. But otherwise, with Tree on your team, you don't necessarily have to deny towers. You just sort of slowly heal them up. Living Armor, of course, works on towers as well. Looks like a push coming out on the tier 1 in the mid lane. Tree already invisible, trying to maybe get in position to go for an overgrowth. Unfortunately, not enough trees to lead the way to where nGu are. So I'm just going to hang out, doesn't want to reveal himself, but not going to be able to get in a position to set up any kills. And Fanny going to finish off the Blink Dagger with that. Let's check the items since there's no fights going on, see if anyone else picked up anything good. Looks like Darkseer getting closer to that mech. Still about 300 gold off of it. No mech really in sight from the Radiant side. I kind of would expect Enchanters to be going for it, but not particularly close. Unless I'm blind, I don't think so. And really nothing coming up from the Dire side. Nakes should have the gold relatively soon for that armlet, but this is a pretty late armlet. 17.5 minutes in. Hit a quick pause. But looks like we're ready to get back to it. And we'll take a little peek at experience of gold. We see gold peaking at about 5k in favor of iNfernity. Experience though, it's about 8k. It's a pretty sizable lead, not completely unmanageable for nGu by any means, but certainly they do have to worry about this, and a lot of that gold currently sitting in the hands of that Gyrocopter is about 2.5k ahead of the Nakes. And that's 3,500 gold just up on the player right now. Looks like they might be initiating on him. Thinking about it, the surge is going to be on Bat Rider. No follow-up. Just not really able to get in range in time. I really don't know what Grazine's going for. If he wants the BKB, it's not like he has to buy it all in one go. It seems kind of unimaginable that he would pick up a Sacred Relic here, since 3 items that it goes into, only one of them makes any sense on him, and first item Rapier is usually not the right play. LCF trying to get level 11, he's got 1,400 gold up on him as well. Not sure what he wants to pick up either. It's possible he could go for the mech if Enchantress decided not to, and Enchantress actually picks up a point booster. So, could it be the case that we will just see him go for a mechanism, but I'm surprised no one's really building it towards it right now. Bane doesn't really have anything up. He picks up a smoke and a TP. He said those arcane boots for quite some time, but not much beyond it. It looks like we're heading towards that mid lane. Maybe trying to set up a gank there, but they did see Bane pick up that haste rune. It's not really going to fall for that. Flanking Bane flying in from the side. And 4,200 gold up now on Grazine. Just going to continue farming. Not going to buy anything until they make him. Okay. He has enough for a full BKB if he wants it. Akuma going to get ulted in the mid lane by Rio. It looks like he's probably going to lose her life. Does end up going down. Can't get that wind run off before the impetus gets thrown out. Vic getting pulled up on the high ground by Bat Rider. The ult did come off from LCF, but it doesn't look like too much is going to come from him. He's going to pop the Nature's Guys here. That fade time's pretty long though, and he does end up getting killed by Darkseer actually with the Iron Shell. Puck trying to port away. Not having a great time. They're continuing to chase the slows there. Enchantress coming in from behind, going to be able to get a kill on Ice, it looks like. No fear, Vic. Support Enchantress, just run from behind, get kills. Matrix going to port out, and it looks like there's no stun there to really do anything about it. Regen Rune in the upper river going to be spotted by both teams. It looks like Puck is going to be able to bottle it. Immediately Pops is probably going to throw an orb. Actually ends up using it defensively.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
In the meantime, Gyro, he's up to 5,000 gold and pushing another tower. Shackle not going to do anything there. We tried to go for something on Grazine, but not really going to succeed. Grazine gets the tower just like Final Port to top lane. I'm being allowed to farm everywhere on the map, so why not? I'm probably going to pop the flank in. So he's less than 100 gold off of Rapier. No, he's just going to go for Butterfly. Way safer bet. I was moderately concerned that we're going to see him just like go for a repair and throw the game. I'm glad to see that he's at least playing a little disciplined Dota here. It's always tempting when you just are allowed to farm 6,000 gold in your inventory. You say, hey, you know, there's one item and buy with this. Dream Coil, or Illusory Orb just gonna fly through from Puck, trying to harass the heroes a little bit, as well as just clear off that creep wave before it approaches that tower. They don't want to let it take any harass if they don't have to. Looks like there might be a little fight going on in this lower river. Surge is up on Barry, gets the ult off on Vic, pulls Enchantress up on the high ground. Puck gonna get the first kill, however the Overgrowth getting popped as well. It looks like Danny DJ probably gonna lose his life as well. Manages to pull in Lifestealer before he dies, however Gyrocopter is starting to make it into the fight. LCF gonna go down here. Living Armor keeping him alive for a moment, but their Nature's Guise is on cooldown. Gonna pop the Leech Seeds, keeping him alive even longer. Puck gets a kill on Batrider finally, and LCF can't get taken down. Living Armor, Leech Seed, Nature's Guise, all these spells really good at keeping people alive. And Ping's coming off like, hey, I think Alive's here, and Trinit's gonna spot him out. They need someone else to come in if they want to go for this kill. And it looks like Nyx is just gonna run away. Maybe a little aware that something's up. Not feeling safe to continue farming there. But ends up just leaving the one creep alive. We have a lot of heroes invisible. Akuma, probably not where you want to be. Probably not where you want to be. Rio going to get turned invisible. Still alive. That Illuminate going to fly through, does a lot of damage. Vic taking a lot of damage as well. But the Overgrowth's going to be there, and Ice looks like he's going to be losing his life as a result of it. The Impetus flies through, ends up Puck getting that kill. Alive, trying to do whatever he can, but he's kind of just getting kited to death right now. And the Impetus flying through. Not able to do any damage from the Rage, but Alive continuing to not really have the success he wants. Armlet toggling though. Doing a lot of work, but Brain Set from Bane does enough damage. Takes him down, push, chasing after Vic, going to get the kill. Looks like he might be able to get away as well, but Grazine's starting to show up now. And that's what they have to be worried about. So they have to sleep on Bane, not enough mana for a couple more seconds, but Fanny's here doing a pretty big damage. She pops the Dream Coil. And there comes the ult from Grazine, going to be his death. Bane actually getting the last hit, looks like with a Brain Sap. And now here's Akuma. Looks like just not going to really be any follow-up there. Not a lot of mana left up on these heroes. And of course Grazine just wants to be back up in his top lane farming. He's got a Butterfly, Helmet of the Dominator, 1700 gold beyond it. 25 to 11 is a kill score. And Infernity winning fights, and they don't even have the Gyro there. And this Gyro is very farmed. You can see he has double the net worth of the Nakes. It's kind of feeling like nGu don't really have anything going on for them this game. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to put up any sort of fight. So we'll see what nGu want to do. Hanging out now, trying to move around, dropping a ward as well. And Puck picks up a Desolator. Interesting decision.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get that right click damage up on the Puck. I guess helps with tower pushes as well, which might be relevant. Maybe Infernity want to close this out quickly and they just want to be able to melt these towers as quickly as possible. They're trying to fight Grazine. I think they might not understand exactly how farm this guy is. Like, Grazine never even in trouble in a 2v1 fight. Now he's fighting 3v1. And here we go, Flag Cannon up once again. Daddy DJ almost going down just from Flag Cannon. Grazine might go down finally. He's trying to get a fight. Alive ends up losing his life. The power shot just going to miss. Batrider trying to get in range to kill off Grazine. Looks like he's not going to really have any success. In the meantime, Puck getting at least one kill. I thought maybe he would get his kill before the Batrider went down. And Push is gonna call it. Yeah, so there's that nigh unkillable gyro you have to worry about, and now we also have a puck who's getting pretty farmed, sitting well above your lifestealer. But that's going to do it for this game, the semifinals. Fernie going to move on to the grand finals, of course, where I'm pretty sure they're playing up against Furrier. Furrier? I don't know how to pronounce that at all. I'm going to go with Furrier. Furrier? Maybe I'm going to go with Furrier? Furrier? I'll think about it. But we will be back momentarily. It looks like the grand final game should pretty much already be hosted since the other match is done. So we won't have a long delay between these two games. The grand finals will be a best of 3. And there goes the Ancient. Once again, thanks for coming, hanging out with me, and watching the TT Esports Dota 2 Weekly number 12. Powered by Androids and cast by Kanaz. Me. We'll be back momentarily while we get ready for that grand final match. Stick around. And thanks for coming.